We begin tonight with a crisis brewing in the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. The Board of Trustees of the party has announced the suspension of its national leader and presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso. The party's National Working Committee has also been suspended. According to the Board of Trustees, Kwankwaso participated in discussions with prominent figures including President Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi without authorization. The suspension, effective immediately, is expected to last for 6 months. During this period, a disciplinary committee will conduct an investigation into the allegations to determine the extent of Kwankwaso's involvement in these activities.
As a party, we've been having some difficulties, in the past 1-2 months. People have been able to identify where exactly the problems are coming from. We've had cases of high-handedness on the part of some leaders of the party that we believe in so much. We have also had cases of people not being able to discharge their duties the way they should. And we have a constitution that puts in the hands of the BOT, of our great party, what you will not find, the powers that you won't find in the constitution of any other party. And that is the powers to, get things straightened out when the party gets into a difficult situation like we have now.
The party noticed that since after the elections, there had been a lot of people engaging in different anti-party activities, most especially the presidential candidate of the party, Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. His activities has been purportedly illegal to the act of the party. So he had been having some other dealings with other parties, with the current leadership in the country, with other political parties without the concept of the party, and also paraded himself as the leader, as the national leader of the party. So the party went into the constitution to search, is there an office of the national leader? There's nothing like a national leader for a failed presidential candidate. And that is why we have said he desist from saying he is a national leader of the party, rather, and also the party, the General Congress today has ratified that for investigation to properly take place, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso should proceed on a 6-month suspension.
The resolution of the BOT is what I have to anchor on. And today we have come here and it was ratified because an adoption was done on it. So I think we can go from there. Once it has been adopted, I think there's no going back on it. That is the stand of the BOT and the national body here today.
Well, in another development, a faction loyal to Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso rose from a National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja to announce the expulsion of the chairman of the NNPP Board of Trustees, Boniface Anebonam. Also expelled are the National Publicity Secretary, Agbo Major, and 10 State National Working Committee members for forming a parallel National Working Committee and State Executive Councils. While the Kwankwaso group also adopted motions to extend the tenure of the acting national chairman, Abba Kawu Ali, and to redesign the party's logo. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State, who is the only governor in the party, says he will continue to work closely with Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso in his efforts to reposition the NNPP. Well, we're joined now by representatives of both factions. Acting National Chairman Dr. Agbo Major joins us now from our studios in Lagos, and here in Abuja is NNPP chieftain Buba Galadima, who is a close ally of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the NNPP presidential candidate in the last general elections. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Well, it does seem, Alhaji Buba Galadima, that the NNPP is not immune to the crisis that other parties have had to go through, some still in the throes of internal wranglings. Who exactly is in charge in the NNPP? What's at the root of this crisis? Buba Galadima?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me on this program. I had just seen clips from Lagos showing some 3 people talking about NNPP. These are imposters. We don't know them in the party. What are their names? What are the portfolios they hold? What is their position? I know Major Agbo is the was the national publicity secretary of this great party. And he can't claim ignorance, or else I show you documents that he was a member of the National Disciplinary Committee set up by this party. He participated in all the activities of the disciplinary committee, and he also signed and took money for sitting allowance throughout, including hotels that he stayed. So he couldn't claim ignorance that he did not know what was happening. But let me put the record straight.
Right.
About a month ago, this disciplinary committee submitted its findings to the National Working Committee of the party. And the National Working Committee adopted wholesale the report of the disciplinary committee set up by it. And we applied to INEC 3 weeks notice to hold a NEC meeting, National Executive Committee meeting of the party. And today's meeting was attended by 4 representatives of INEC, all the elected people on the platform of this party in the National Assembly and in the state assemblies, including our only governor. All the 37 state chairmen of the party were present. All the members of NEC were all present. The only person that was absent was Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso himself, who was represented by the vice presidential candidate of the party. Therefore, if there is any meeting today, the authentic meeting is the one that was held in Abuja and attended by INEC. 3 times they tried to smuggle a letter purportedly as elected representatives of this party to INEC, and it was rejected by INEC. Now, what they did is a preemptive move, because only 7 of them were in that meeting. Of the chairmen, out of the chairmen, 10 that were sacked and their executives were dissolved. The issue is, why did we dissolve those executive committees?
Exactly. Why?
Because they performed anti-party activities. They were working for other interests outside NNPP during the election. They took money from us. They did not dispense. They also took our even agents' cards and sold to opposition parties in their states. We can't have such people in our party. We are not political jobbers. We are in this political party is a serious business. So how can we have such a people in this our party? So the NEC today was to ratify the expulsion and dissolution by the National Working Committee of the party. It is because they had this was happening that they organized a kangaroo meeting of 7 people in Lagos to say that they have expelled Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Of course, they are in the news. That's what they are looking for. So their masters who are giving them money will now say, they had done a good job. Kwankwaso, the star of the Nigerian politics, is being painted with mud. That's what they are doing.
Okay. Now let's get to Agbo Major. Dr. Agbo Major, speak to us about the specifics of the anti-party activities leveled against Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. What exactly did he do?
Well, first, I do not intend to join issues on personal grounds with Alhaji Buba Galadima, but if he chooses that we should go that way, I can tell you that I will be very rough on him. The truth is that Nigerians know what Buba Galadima is. Nobody, I can tell you, no Nigerian is strange when Nigerians see him on the television talking about NNPP. What do they know about him? He has been member of APC, from APC to new APC, at a point PDP. His stock in trade is to create confusion wherever he goes to.
And that is what he has brought into the NNPP. But like I said, I won't be joining issues with him on personal grounds. And I would request that he exercise a little bit of caution in the course of discussing these issues. We need to be speaking to issues as far as the situation in the party today is concerned. Now, the issue of anti-party, yes, he has said it himself, but the good thing is that the scripts are there. You know, the newspaper extracts, the TV scripts, they're all there. Everybody knows that they are the ones that are most guilty of these so-called anti-party activities they are talking about. I can challenge you to ask Buba Galadima, what exactly does he know as anti-party? He is known for that, from APC to new APC to PDP. And today, the same Buba Galadima is the one challenging a founder of a political party. Somebody who founded a political party, ran it for 21 years. A very distinguished Nigerian who is known for honesty and decency. Today, it's funny to hear Buba Galadima, who came all the way.
Let me pause you right there. Dr. Major, speak to us about, I appreciate the fact that you have the right to your opinions, but then you still haven't answered the question. What exactly has Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso done
to deserve a suspension?
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. I was already there when you stopped
carry
me.
on.
I was trying to get you to understand that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, everybody has it on records, on the TVs, the screens of the TVs, on the newspapers. He had series of meetings. On our way to the 2023 general election, he had series of meetings with presidential candidates of other political parties, a party that is clean enough and that runs on constitutional order. The presidential candidate of such a party has no right in any way at all, nowhere in any part of our constitution, you know, to go into any form of discussion. Whatever is the crux of the discussion, the party should have known. The party decides on whether the attempts to have any discussion with PDP candidate or APC candidate or PRP candidate or Labour Party candidate. Is the party that decides whether such discussions are worth going into. But what we saw were situations where on his own, he would just stand up, either he's in France, or he's in Lagos, or he's in Abuja, or he's somewhere, you know, either having discussions with one presidential candidate or the other. I don't know what other thing qualifies somebody to be guilty of anti-party activities more than that. The truth is that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, senator, with respect, has flouted with all emphasis, all provisions of our constitution that has to do with the sacredness of loyalty to our party's constitution. The truth is that he came in as a candidate. Yes, at that moment he was the leader of the party. There's no doubt about that. But being leader of the party and being the presidential candidate never gave him the license to go into things that were capable of dragging, and of course dragged the name of the party into disrepute. These were the concerns of the BOT. And let me tell you, our constitution, we've continued to insist, is a very unique constitution. You can't find the things embedded in our constitution, especially as it relates to the operations of the BOT in the constitution of any other political party in this country. What is there, the provision is that the BOT has the exclusive right to call to order any officer of the party. You could be a member, you could be an officer at any level. It is only the BOT that has the powers to call you to order when you engage in acts that are not in consonance with the provisions of the Constitution. And that was what they invoked. They looked at all the options, they looked at all the activities of Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso before the election, and even as we speak, and then decided that enough should be enough, you know. And it is his actions, of course, that has thrown the party into this level of turbulence. Because as a democratic party, NNPP has existed for 21 years. It has been very, very, very peaceful. There have been no form of disagreements in any way. Right. We have had and operated as one family. The truth is that they are coming in is what has thrown the party into turbulence. When you do things that tend to suggest that you are just acting on your own. No other person is there to be part of what you are doing. No other person has any right to make inputs into the decisions you make as it relates to what you do or purportedly do on behalf of the party.
Thank you very much. You've made your point, Mr. Agbo. You've made your point. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to Buba Galadima right here in the studio. Mr. Agbo has raised a number of issues, accused Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso of disloyalty, of acting arbitrarily without consultations with the members of the party in having dealings with members of opposition political parties, especially at a time when he was a presidential candidate of the NNPP. He also accused you of causing crisis and confusion here and there. You'd like to respond to some of those issues. Did Rabiu Kwankwaso really consult with the party in having this dealing?
First,
right.
Let's establish one fact. Is Major Agbo speaking for himself or he's speaking for the BOT? Let's establish his own credentials first.
Right.
I told you who met, the National Exco of the party met in Abuja today. And I rolled out who have been here. Did Agbo tell you himself and who did meet in Lagos? Are they members of the party? And I also said...
Are you saying that Major Agbo...
There's no locus.
And Nebonam are not members of the NNPP?
Are two people make up party? Which other member of the BOT that was in their meeting?
You mentioned that there are about 7 of them that met to...
State chairman that we expelled. That were in that meeting.
Address the issues.
Preemptive.
Address
so
the issues
he has
that
not
he
even
raised.
locus.
Yes.
And he's not supposed to know because he's too small to know whether Kwankwaso took permission from the party or not to meet with other interest groups.
How do you mean too small?
Did he? I mean,
yes, because he's not a member of the National Caucus of the party.
Right.
He's not.
Okay, so did Kwankwaso...
So how can he know? Kwankwaso took permission from us when he was going to France. 13 members of the National Caucus of the party met and he put down this issue that the president wanted to see him. What is our opinion? And each and every one of us that was there, except myself that did not speak on that day, because I knew what led to that meeting.
What exactly was it? And what exactly was the meeting with the president and other presidential party candidates that he had meetings with?
He informed us that the president invited him to see him. And he could not go without taking a permission from the party. Agbo is not a member of the National Caucus of the party.
So after
principal
Rabiu Kwankwaso met with the president or presidential candidate at the time, and of course later as president, did he come back to the party?
No. Hold on. Met with him.
Did he come back to the party to say, look, these are the details of the meeting?
He came back.
Right.
He came back and told us that the president had asked him to tell his party that he would want to work with us.
With the NNPP?
With the NNPP.
On the basis of...
Yes.
On the basis of what? What exactly? Why did he want to work with the NNPP?
When we agree that we can work together, then we will meet with the APC to do the modalities of working together. Okay. We never did.
When you say that the NNPP would work with the ruling APC, in what capacity specifically? How would two opposition parties work together?
It did not come. You mean that parties don't have electoral, don't have alliances?
That's what
even after elections?
No, in this case, in this context, how does your party, the NNPP, plan to work with the ruling APC?
That has been overtaken by events.
Right. Was this really about, just having an alliance? Or
Look,
is it a struggle?
Those who took money and are being used by other interests outside
who are they
NPP.
taking money from? I mean,
ask them now. Ask them now. You saw some people trying to talk with passion.
Who are those that have been giving them?
I know. You've seen them on television. Ask them.
You seem to know.
You know. Let them challenge me now.
See, the reason we had to bring you on this night
Yes.
was to be able to shed, so you could shed light on this issue. Whatever internal crisis your party is having.
There is no internal crisis in the NNPP.
Hold on. If you hold on a little, it's important for us to be able to
Agbo
bring
is
out
not
the
a member
issues.
of this party. He has been expelled.
By
And the other 7 chairmen were expelled. There were 10. 3 did not attend their meeting because they themselves have already left the party after
All right,
the disciplinary
let's bring
committee.
in Agbo and find out exactly. I mean, let him react to or respond to what you're saying. Mr. Agbo, well, Alhaji Buba Galadima says you're not a member of the NNPP, and so you would not know the goings-on, especially at the high echelons of the party, including details of, Rabi Kwankwaso's meetings with President Tinubu, Atiku, not too long ago, and of course the Labour Party presidential candidate.
No, he didn't meet with Labour Party candidate.
Well, there are
They are alleging. That is part of what they are
there
saying.
are allegations that he did meet
They
with
didn't.
Right. Okay. Please respond to these issues, Mr. Agbo.
Our attitudes towards all of this is that we have a baby that we gave birth to 22 years ago, and no matter the magnitude of this disagreement, we will continue to ensure that we don't throw everything out to the public. But I strongly suspect that Buba Galadima believes that it is his normal gangster style that he exhibited in APC that led him to new APC and all of that. And NNPP is not a party that is cut out for such attitudes. He needs to understand that NNPP is a party that operates with so much decorum, formed and run by very distinguished Nigerians. He does not even know anything about NNPP. When I was national secretary of this party, we were talking about NNPP. Buba Galadima was national secretary of CPC.
Mr. Agbo, if I may come in, not many people really knew about the NNPP until Rabi Musa Kwankwaso came on board.
No, that's not correct. That's not correct. We operated. NNPP is a party that has existed for 22 years. During this period of 22 years of its existence, over 100 political parties have come and gone on account that they were unable to win election. So it's funny when anybody begins to say nothing was known about the party. Yes, you could say that the party was not able to win enough seats, but it's not as if we were not winning elections. If we never won elections, we went through series of deregistration exercises. Under Jega, there were about three deregistration exercises he conducted. We would have gone out of existence, into extinction. But we didn't because we knew what we wanted. Before that came, we had one election in Bauchi, we had one election in Rivers, and a few other places. I think Buba Galadima is operating on the premise that he doesn't even know anything about the party. He just came, they needed a platform in March last year. Somebody who is just about 1 year old in a party is the one that is now telling you that the founders of the party are not members of the party or that they've been expelled. It has not dawned on Buba Galadima that the man they claim they have expelled has immunity for expulsion by virtue of the provisions of the same constitution that governs the activities of the party. Section 12(1)ABC confers on the founder of this party the authority and the right never to be dismissed even for 1 minute. The same person, the same NWC claims they have dismissed. The same section 12 says the board of directors, the board of trustees is second on the strata after the National Convention. The NWC that is now claiming to have purportedly suspended or expelled the founder of the party, who is clearly put there as enjoying immunity from all of this, is number 4 on the ladder.
Very quickly,
So you can imagine an organ that is number 4 on the ladder.
Because we don't have time.
I just want to make one point.
I would like
quickly,
you to make, you will make that point, but is Kwankwaso struggling for his political survival? Is this what all of this is about? These alliances and meetings with other political party leaders? Make that point that you wanted to make.
If I don't talk to you, how do I convince you to support me?
Yeah, please make that
That's
point.
politics.
Right.
I have to engage you. And there is a misconception from him about politics. This party belongs to all Nigerians. I was a founder number 4, signatory to the formation of the APC. I'm not there today.
Okay, let's go. We have to go now. So in conclusion, we have to wrap this up now. In conclusion, how do you intend to move forward? How do you not intend to move forward so we can close this?
We are already moving forward. We are intact. There is only one man out, and he's been expelled. In fact, what pains me is that you pair me with him. He's not a member of the party. He shouldn't speak for the party.
Thank you very
much. Did INEC attend his meeting today?
Thank you very much.
And who are there?
We can only wish you all the best.
And there is no founder. Party belongs to Nigerians.
Thank you very much.
They should all know.
Right.
And every Nigerian has the right to join and aspire to any level of position.
Right. We have to go now. Thank you very much, Galadima, and of course, Agbo Major from NNPP. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming to Newsnight. We can only wish you all the best as you navigate this crisis.